I'm just taking a quick few moments to give you a vlog update. I know it's been a while since I've talked or written anything, and I really apologize for that, but I'm starting to get busy with school. I've started working on my paper that's worth 100% of my grade, but I figured it's not fair not to update, so I'm going to take this quick opportunity to tell you a little bit about my first impressions of Sunderland. I'm going to tell you about my roommates and a little bit about my classes. So, first things first, got here on a Saturday, got into my room, and it's absolutely enormous, and we've got two cupboards, two drawers, like dresser drawers, a sink, two desks, three chairs. Basically, I've got a huge room. And so I loved it. I'm up on the third floor for everyone in North America. The second floor for those of you who might be reading this from Great Britain, or listening to this from Great Britain, sorry. And I've got a nice view. On a clear day, I can look out my window and actually see the sea. Although I think that's actually only been one day since I've been here. But, so that was Sunderland. The first person, or that's my room rather, in Sunderland. The first person I met here was Sylvia, and I kind of looked out my window and saw her in the parking lot after Paul, Stephen's dad, dropped us off so that we could kind of get me all settled in. And I looked down and I'm like, there's a Canada flag on her backpack, so I kind of wait and see if she came into our flat, and she did. So I went down and introduced myself right away and got to meet her. Sylvia's from British Columbia, so not too far away in terms of Canada, but if we were talking like any other country, it'd be miles and miles and miles away and totally far. But now I can't remember who I met next, but I'll tell you about my roommates in order. On the first floor, the only room on the floor, is Kyle, and he's American. He is from, I want to say Georgia, but I think it might be Florida. I know he's really close to the border of the two. He's usually my class buddy on Monday morning, because we take the bus together and wait for our classes. Then there is Julia. She's on the second floor across the hall from Sylvia, and she's German. She is getting married in May, so I'm totally excited for her. And just one of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet. She's friends with everybody, and in turn has made me realize that it's a good thing to give people a second chance. Like, at first, maybe there were some people that I met that I didn't really like, or got the feeling that they didn't really like me, but talking to Julia and how sweet she is was really infectious, and so I thought, you know what, I should give these people another try, and I think it's worked out for the best, so I'm so blessed for Julia for that. And Sylvia is my crazy Canadian counterpart. Just a big goof, really. Very smart, very intelligent. All of the people in my flat are. So, she's wonderful. And then there's Juan, who lives across the hall from me. She's from South Korea, and she is absolutely adorable. I don't know how to describe her. At first, when we got here, she was really quite shy, along with one of the other roommates, and so they kind of talked to each other, but not as much to the rest of us, because we were very outgoing and boisterous. And, that changed very quickly. She's now always talking, always in the thick of things. I absolutely love it. She's a great person to have across the hall from me, because if I need anything or just want to talk, I can just go across the hall to her, and I absolutely love it. On the top floor are our boys. There's Victor, who's from Germany, and also Philip from Germany, and both of them are very different. Philip's very athletic, very kind of, not troublesome, but he's got that, the glimmer in his eye that you know he's up to something. Victor is very refined. He's quite a gentleman. He's always best friends with all the ladies, and he's just well-dressed and well-spoken and just a very lovely person. I mean, like I said, all of them are lovely. Now, in the flat, I don't know how it happened. Well, these things always tend to happen, but I came out as flat mother. I guess I just have that protective nature about me. And the only two that really have any labels are Victor and Philip. Philip, because he's a little bit of goofball, is my special son. And Victor is my good son, because as I told you, he's very refined, very gentlemanly. And so that's about it about the flat. We've made a lot of friends here, all of us. Even Steven, when he comes to visit, he's got a whole bunch of fans. So I've made friends with some German girls, some American girls, some American boys, some German boys. If I had to break it down for you, the percentages of nationalities is something like 60% German, 60% German, 30% American, and then 10% everything else. There's an incredibly large amount of Germans here, but it's nice. It's very nice. I mean, there's also an incredible amount of Americans, and of course the two kind of overshadow the rest of us, but it's lovely. It's really lovely. It's a nice mixing pot. Now to Sunderland University. The campus that I go to is the city campus. There's two different campuses in Sunderland itself. There's the city campus, which I go to, and then there's St. Peter's campus, which is across the bridge. I believe it's the Wear Bridge. Yeah, we live in this in this county called Tyne and Wear, but Wear is spelt where. I don't know what the British have done to the English language, but I don't think it's anything good other than what Shakespeare contributed, if I'm being honest. Okay, maybe that's a little harsh, but you know what I mean. They speak very, very strange, especially here. The accent's called Mackem. And sometimes, if I'm listening to someone on the street who's native here, I'm lucky if I understand anything they say. Although, up in Newcastle, it can be a bit worse. They're called Geordies. My best example of their accent is I was in a store buying a sweater, and I was waiting in line behind a girl and a boy, a couple, and they were talking. Then they were obviously Geordie. And the only words that I understood in their entire conversation, standing behind them for about 5-10 minutes, was where and there, because those words they said on their own. It's so hard to understand. Now, the campus itself that I go to is wonderful. It's basically in a circle, just like every other university in the world. I think it's like a law that they have to make it in a circle. I'm not sure. But my classes aren't too far apart. You usually get let out 5 or 10 minutes early so that you can get to your next class. And really, there's nothing I can complain about except for the library. Now, for anyone who goes to a North American institution, you know that in the library, you are quiet because other people are trying to study, do their work. Well, here, they don't do that. And it's really, 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 really annoying. But there's nothing I can do about it because there isn't anyone who enforces it. But that's really my only complaint. Other than that, as some of you have known, I've tried to Skype with you, but the internet here is absolutely horrid. That's really my only other complaint. They need to get their Wi-Fi in a better situation, but that's for me to suggest, but not to say anything more about. Trying to think what else I can tell you. Oh, my classes. I'm in one introduction class. It's Introduction to Sports Psychology. I'm doing very well in that class. I had one test and I got a first in it. I would tell you what the percentage is, but it's going to sound bad in North American terms because here, like a 70% is almost equivalent to a 100. So I got above a 70, which is a first. So that's good. And the whole reason I'm updating you now is because I've got an essay and a presentation due, not this week coming up, but the next week, back to back, and then another essay after that, and I'll have to study for a test. So I know I still have to update you on pictures and blog posts, and I'm really sorry that they're going to be so late, but it's just the crunch time. I'm hoping that I've drafted something for London, which is now over a month ago. I'm so sorry. But to be fair, I haven't done anything since then. I've been to Whitby, which is on the seaside, and Durham, which is just half an hour away from Sunderland. Probably less. The bus was really slow, but that's okay. So those are really the only updates I have for you on that front. But I'm getting on them. I'm gonna do my best. I've done all my research, so for any of you who are worried, don't be. That's my job. I'm the one who's supposed to get stressed. I'm going to be talking about the Canadian sports policy for any of you who care, but that's really all I have for this update. I'm so sorry that it's been so long. I feel terrible, but I've started editing pictures, and once I start, I can't stop, and I have about 500 to go through, so I'm going to have to try and just pull myself away from that, post the pictures for you, and just not care about editing. I'll do that for my own private albums. I'm sure you just want to see what I'm doing and that I look healthy. Funny story about that, being healthy. I've actually been sick for about 4 weeks here. I had the flu, I had an ear infection, and I've had 2 or 3 colds. But I'm finally healthy, so yay, this is a celebration. No, it's not. It's me having to get back to work, really. But I'm glad you all took the time to watch this video. I miss you all very much, and I can't wait to share more of my adventures with you. Again, I'm so sorry that they've been so late in the making, but better late than never, right? Yes? No? Probably not. Okay, but thanks again. I hope to talk to you guys again real soon. It'll probably be in the form of a post, though, so you have to read rather than just sitting and listening to my lovely angelic voice. And I'll talk to you again really soon. I love you all. Bye.